I'm Sir Luma. Today we are going to be discussing the subject English language, and under this, I want to be talking about the long-awaited topic, which is what grammatical function and expression. Grammatical function and expression. Under these, we're going to be talking about four things. Number one, I'll be talking about noun phrase or noun clause. Two, I'll be talking about adjectival phrase or clause. I'll be talking about adverbial phrase or clause, and there is another one they call prepositional phrase or clause. So let me do the introduction here. Let me start with the first one, which is what? Noun phrase or clause. First, let me re-explain phrase and your clause. When I was doing the introduction to English language, and if you have not watch my introduction on English language, please try and take that pain, watch it, so that you can have full dealing about grammatical function and expression. I said when you have alphabets coming together, sound will produce your alphabet. When alphabets come together, they are going to give you what? Your words. If I say A plus T, they are going to produce a word, which is what? Art. Art is a word. So and I say when words now come together, for instance, if I say D comes with joins with boy, it becomes what? The boy. So if you now look at the D is a word, boy is a word. Coming together of these words, they are formed what they call phrase. If you now see the boy, the no verb here. Boy is not a verb. Boy is a noun. And when you have a verb in words, listen again. When you have verb as part of the words you are dealing with, that word or those words will no longer be a phrase, rather it will now be a clause. For instance, if I say the boy, and I said the boy is coming. There is a difference between these two. The boy, the article, boy is a noun. If I ask now, break down these words now. Do we have verb in these words? No. So this is what? A phrase. It is not about the length of the words. I remember that we also were taught wrongly that way. That when you see a word or when you see words that are very voluminous or very long, that is a clause. When you see a short word, that is a phrase. My dear, is a total lie. Just look at it. The boy. Do we have verb here? No. So far there is no verb in the considered words. Those words are what? Phrase. Now look at it. If I say the boy is coming, maybe I now underline the boy is. The boy, the is an article. Boy is what? A noun. Is an auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. Coming is what? A lexical verb. We have two verbs here. So since we have, even if it's an auxiliary verb that we have in those considered words, just note it to be a clause. So this is now what? A clause. So once you check the underlying word, because where we normally use grammatical function and expression mostly is like when they give you a comprehension to do your exam, they will now underline some statements. In that statement, they will now ask you that what is the grammatical function and expression of the underlined words. So that is why I said I will teach you this. Once I teach you this, once you see the underlying words, you are good to go. You definitely know, oh, this is noun phrase or noun clause. Oh, this is adjectival phrase or adjectival clause. Oh, this is adverbial phrase or adverbial clause. Oh, this is prepositional phrase or clause. Now let's now start with let me start with noun phrase. See, noun phrase normally introduce a statement, and they most times normally make use of what? Article. For instance, if I say the reader's frame of mind is equally important. Maybe I now underline the reader's frame of mind. The reader's frame of mind. If you now look at the length of these underlined words now, I've lifted out these words from the comprehension passage. They will now bring out this thing like this in your question, quotes and unquotes. That the reader's frame of mind, what is the grammatical function and expression of these underlying words? First thing, determine whether it's a phrase or is a clause. If you look at it, the readers. Who are the readers? Now, so they have used readers to represent a group of people, and it's the name of something. That is a noun. Frame describing it is still what? A noun. Of mind is still what? Noun. The reader's frame of mind. So in all this now, we don't have a verb. In this underlying words, no verb. They may even use a figure of speech. What you are just after is that that underlying word must not have a verb for it to be a phrase. Once it has a verb, one or two verbs, it becomes clause automatically. So this one that we have, the reader's frame of mind, is what? A phrase. So the question is, what type of phrase is this? Is it a noun phrase or an adjectival phrase? Adjective, or adverbial phrase, or prepositional phrase or clause. If you come, like I said, it's most times introduced by the article. What? Once you see this, you already know that this is what? A noun phrase. This is a noun phrase. Let's assume that I now rub up this. Maybe let me remove this inverted comma here. Sorry, quote and unquote. I now put it here. I now underline this. Is equally important. The question is, do we have a verb in this underlying word? Yes. Where is the verb? Is. I don't even need to look at others. Once I can identify a verb in that underlying words, and I've told us, please go and read or go and watch my videos on verbs. I think I did like 3 or 4 episodes. Quite interesting, especially, oh God, too explicit there. Check that video. At least if you can, as I would tell us in this video, even if you cannot read or write, if you have somebody that cannot read or write, once that person can watch my videos from introduction to the English language up to this level, I tell you that person will start to read, not only to read alone, to write, not even writing alone, even to speak good English. It's important, please. It's equally important. So we have a verb here. I don't need to know whether it is auxiliary verb or it is a lexical verb. So it's equally important. This is what? A clause. Then I will now ask, what kind of clause is this? So already this is what? Same way, noun clause. Very simple. I know by the time I explain this one, these ones are very cheap. Adjectival phrase, once you see some things, you will know that, oh, this is adjectival phrase, oh, this is adverbial phrase. So let's move to the next one, which is what? Adjectival phrase. Adjectival phrase. In adjectival phrase or clause, once you see what do you call it, the WH questions, we call it WH questions. What are the WH questions? Things like who, things like whom, things like whose, and things like which. Once you see any of these introducing the underlying words, my dear, you don't even need to think. You don't even need any herbalist or anybody to tell you. Just note that it is what? Adjectival. Then check that word if it has verb or not. You know, if it does not have verb, it's a phrase. If it has verb, it's what? A clause. Let me give us an example. The brown envelope which was kept in the cupboard, in the black cupboard, and the black cupboard is missing. That's one. So in this one now, I will ask, what is the grammatical? Okay, let me just underline it. Which was kept. They will now lift out this in the question and put like this: which was kept. Quote and unquote. Which was kept. If you now look at this, they will lift it out like which was kept. What is the grammatical function and expression? For me to determine this, what has introduced this? Which. And in the WH question, which is part of it. Automatically, this is what? Adjectival. Then, type of what? Adjectival. Is it a phrase or a clause? If you look at the underlying word, do you have verb there? Was is a verb. Auxiliary verb. The past tense of is. Kept is a main verb. So you have two verbs there. And I said, once you can find just only one verb, just know that it is what? What do you call it? A clause. So which was kept is what? Adjectival clause. Then they will now ask you the function. Sorry, I didn't tell us the function of this noun phrase or clause. I'll tell us. Maybe I'm done with this. Adjectival phrase or clause. Now they will now ask you what is the function. I've told us the expression. The grammatical expression is what? Adjectival clause. Then what is its function? Adjective, what does it do? You say adjective qualifies. From what I explained to us. Adjective qualifies. So for me to explain this now, you say the grammatical name is adjectival clause. Adjectival clause. Now the function is what? It serves, it more or less qualifies. It qualifies. If you don't know the noun, please scale it, keep it. But me, I will explain it to you now. It qualifies the noun. You now quote and unquote that noun. And how do you know the noun? In that sentence, you will just come. That noun will always come before the adjective. Adjective, yes. This is which. Then you now have to go back. That where will I found the noun? Now, if I go back like this, envelope. What part of speech is envelope? a noun. Then it qualifies the noun envelope. It qualifies the noun envelope. Not brown envelope. Brown is what? Adjective. I think that should be clear enough. I repeat it again. You are given this kind of thing. What is the grammatical name? Grammatical name. Once you see things like which, whose, and the likes, you have known how to be what? Adjectival. Then check the underlying word if it has verb. If it does not have verb, it's a phrase. Like this one now, this one has verb. It's what? A clause. So it becomes adjectival clause. The second thing is, what is the function? Because we are dealing with grammatical function and expression. The grammatical name or expression is adjectival clause. Then what does it do? We say adjectival qualifies. It qualifies the noun. You have to quote it like this. It qualifies the noun, then you have to state the noun. And for you to determine the noun, you go to that your passage. You go to your comprehension where they have lifted this word, where they have brought it out. Go back to that passage where you see the underlying word. Any noun that precedes it is now what? What we're going to put here. This envelope is coming before which. Therefore, it will now qualify the noun envelope with quote and unquote. But if you don't know, just put it that it qualifies and go your own way. You are still going to get the same mark. But you want to prove that yes, you actually understood this thing. That is where you can actually quote the right noun. Let me give us another example. Another example of the adjective. Let's say I have the woman whose car was stolen is weeping. Or let's say is crying. Maybe around the line whose car was stolen. So they will bring it out like this. Whose car was stolen? In your question. Now what is the grammatical function and expression of these underlying words? Whose car was stolen? You have quote and unquote. The first thing I say you're going to do is that first note that is this thing a clause or a phrase? If you check this, do we have verb in these words? Yes, we have two verbs. Was is a verb, stolen is another verb. So this is what? A clause. Then what type of clause? What is introducing it? Whose. So it is what? Adjectival clause. That is what? Grammatical name or expression. If you don't want to call it grammatical name, you can also say grammatical expression. Then what does this one do? Function now. The function is what? It qualifies the noun. You now go back to the passage and check where they have lifted this underlying word. You now go back. What can you see there? Woman. So noun, woman. And you're good to go. Very simple. So let me quickly take us back to that noun, phrase, and clause. But I didn't tell us the function of that one. I only told us the grammatical expression of the reader's frame of mind is equally important. The grammatical name or expression is what? Okay, I think I'll underline this. Grammatical name is what? This is a what? Noun phrase, because there is no verb in the underlying words. Then what is the grammatical function? Grammatical function now. So your noun phrase or noun clause always serve. It serves, look at my words. It serves as either the subject of the verb or object of the verb. If the underlying word is coming before the verb, it serves as the subject of the verb. If the underlying word is coming after the verb, it serves as the object. Like when we have this now, the reader's frame of mind is equally important. I've underlined this. The reader's frame of mind is before this is. So it serves as the subject. Serve as the subject of this verb is. It serves as the subject of the. I thought, please watch my video on a verb. I've taught us subject, object, verb, predicate, and complement. So I'm not speaking Latin here, because I said we are going to need it when I'm explaining grammatical function and expression. So it serves as the subject of the verb. But let's assume that I'm underlining this. Let's assume that I'm underlining that one. So, okay, we still have it as noun phrase. Then it will now be serves as the object. It serves as the object of the verb is. It serves as the subject of the verb what? Because this equally important is coming after the verb. So it's going to be what? Object. We have subject, verb, object. Object of the verb is. I think that is clear enough. Thank you very much for watching. Next class, I'll be talking about adverbial phrase and clause, the prepositional phrase or clause. Please subscribe so that you can be updated on my videos. God bless you.